Yes, I did. I think the match against Alcaraz last night and the one tonight probably two best matches under the circumstances that I've played this season. Against two players that are in fantastic form, and I mean, obviously, the quality of Alcaraz and Sinner, we all know, and playing Sinner tonight in front of his home crowd, and the way I finished the tournament and finish the season is amazing. I'm very, very proud of the performance. Obviously, what Goran was referring to was probably after I clinched the year #1 with the first win over Rune. I was not mentally present, I think, fully in the tournament. After that, I was like, yeah, you know, kind of half in, half out feeling, and that reflected on my level of tennis and my performance and the way I felt on the court. Obviously, thanks to Sinner for, allowing me to be in the semifinals when I was there. I thought, okay, now, I'm gonna try to step it up, and I did. I played really two high-level matches. I started very aggressively tonight against Jannik, which was the difference, different to the group stage match we had against each other. And I think that match helped me prepare myself better for the atmosphere, the crowd. Obviously, I analyzed the match and I looked what I could have done better, and I think I've done it very well for the entire match. Obviously, winning a match with this importance and significance is always, an incredible feeling in the end, and also huge relief, because there's a very high tension and pressure that you feel on the court. And I was, pretty much playing flawless tennis, set in 3-2, and then I got tight, I must say. Start to miss the first serve, crowd got into it, and I was lucky that he missed an easy put away forehand. I think what was it, 4-3 and deuce. You could say also I was unlucky to hit the net cord when on the passing shot for double break, but at this level it happens, and I just maintained my focus. And I could feel from the beginning that it was a different vibe, different energy from him and from me, comparing to the match we had 4 or 5 days ago. I felt I felt that maybe he wasn't as free or as comfortable from the very beginning like he was in the 4 matches prior to the finals. And I felt, okay, my opportunity is now, and I have to take it. I have to be controlling the rallies, and I have to be the one that is going to, sort of say, impose himself on the court. He needs to feel my presence, which wasn't the case in the group stage match. So I think that was probably the major tactical difference between the two matches. And obviously him finishing with double fault is not ideal, but it's a great reward, I think, for what my team and I and my family have been through this year, being one of the most successful years in my career that I ever had. 4 out of 5 major tournaments I won and played finals in Wimbledon. So, I couldn't ask for more, to be honest. I'm very, very proud of this season. Well, you can win 4 slams and Olympic gold. Let's see, I have always the highest ambitions and goals. So that's not going to be different for the next year. That's for sure. The drive that I have is still there. My body has been serving me well, listening to me well. I have a great team of people around me. Motivation, especially for the biggest tournaments in sport, is still present. So it still inspires me to keep going. And in the end of the day, people see you performing in the big tournaments, but they don't see all the weeks and months of dedicated day-to-day, week-to-week work and trying to build your form so that you can peak where you want to peak. And for me, obviously, those are Grand Slams and World Tour Finals, and of course next year also hopefully Olympic Games. So yeah, the mindset is the same, and I'll keep going. I don't know whether I'm going to have as good of a year next year, but I'm going to keep this kind of a freshness of mind and in a way motivation to do that. Well, it is definitely one of the major goals for next year, other than Grand Slams. So, it's going to be very congested schedule with going from the slowest to the fastest surface in sport back to the slowest. Clay, grass, clay, and then hard court. So that's obviously a very demanding, challenging stretch of the year, and I'm going to have to speak with my team to see how we can plan out our preparations, training, so that I'm able to play my best tennis where I want to. 10 years ago was 2013, so I would say Novak of today. 2015 was one of the best years, probably the best year I had. With 19 finals in a row on all the tournaments and 3 out of 4 slams, and I had quite a great 18 months. 2015 and half of 2016. So the moments in time are different for me. I mean, I don't try to play as much as I did play 10 years ago. So I have to pick and choose the right moment, right tournaments and right periods of the year where I can perform my best. So it's tough to compare, but someone did ask me the same question not a while ago, and they said, the question was actually phrased like, who would win, in the matchup, and I said that it would be an easy job for a 36-year-old. Yeah. Joking, of course. I don't know what will be the score, but I would give the young myself a hard time, that's for sure. Not to get too philosophical, but I think let's start from the player. I mean, I learned and kind of confirmed once again that the right scheduling and programming is giving me the benefits and the results that I want to. So I really wasn't happy with my clay court season up to Roland Garros and was doubting my game a lot. But then, I do have a great team of people around me that remind me of the fact that I should trust the process, and that normally in the Grand Slams I'm a different player, and it's true. So that was one of the key turning points, I think, of the season for me, winning the 23rd Slam in Paris. That kind of, I think, gave me really wings for the rest of the year. Since then, I lost 2 matches, and won many tournaments. So, always around clay court season, I go through a kind of a roller coaster mentally, I think, game-wise as well. But I'm thankful for it, because normally that's the time where I learn a lot about myself and how to stay in the moment and how to not project too much negativity on myself and the surrounding if I'm not playing well, if I'm not doing well. And as a person, again, balance of the private and professional life is the key. I mean, obviously it's different for everyone. We're all different individuals, and this is a very demanding sport with a high travel intensity throughout the year. You have to play it worldwide, which is beautiful, which allows us to travel the world and play in front of many different people and nations. But at the same time, it separates you from the family and from the dear ones. So that was probably the biggest challenge I had internally for me is how to balance things out and still be able to participate in my children's lives and my wife's life, and be able to be there when it matters, and when I'm not, then, you know, how can I stay connected? How can I, you know, obviously technology allows you to communicate, but, you know, it's different when you're away, and especially after achieving so much and being as old as I am, you know, there is always a question mark, you know, should I be going for another year like this, or maybe less, or maybe I stop? And, you know, I do have those conversations internally and also with people around me, but for me personally, it's still, you know, huge motivation to keep going and making history of this sport. So I still enjoy it. I love competition. I love, you know, winning the tournaments, obviously, and being the best in the world. And I know that there is a lot of people around the world, especially from my region, that follow me and they want me to keep going, which is, you know, an added strength. But yeah, so it's kind of juggling between the two, you know, really understanding how to maintain that balance that will allow me to be happy, fulfilled professionally and privately. Yeah, I mean, I want them to feel that kind of pressure, and when they play me, I want them to feel that it's, you know, it's going to require the best tennis from them in order to win against me. So that's what I want my opponents to feel, no doubt, because that helps mentally coming into the match. And I think the more I win on the biggest stage, the more this kind of aura grows, and I'm glad for it. You know, no doubt. But of course, that's not going to win you the match, but it might give you the little percentage, a little edge. But you know what I said on the court for Jannik, I really mean it. Very nice guy, great values. His family, entire team, he deserves his success, and he needs to keep going because he's definitely on the right path. And I'm not the only one who is saying that he can win slams and be number one in the world. And I would be very surprised if that doesn't happen. I don't know if it's next year or the year to come. He's 22. He's a lot of time ahead of him. Rune, Alcaraz, and him are, you know, the big three, next big three, if you want to call them. And they're going to carry the sport. You know, I will hang on for as long as I feel like hanging on, as long as that I'm still I think as long as I'm able to win against them on the big stage, I'll still keep going, because, you know, why stop if you're still, you know, winning the biggest titles? But once they start to, kick my butt, then I will consider probably having a little break, or maybe a permanent break from professional tennis. But yeah, Jannik, the Italian tennis is in good hands. I think Jannik is someone that is very professional, that loves his country. He does all the right things with his people, and it's great that we have a World Tour Finals in a country that really loves tennis and loves sport. Of course, culture is culture, but tennis also has grown so much in the last years with Berrettini's success, his success, you know, Fognini before, and of course Musetti and everyone else. But they have really obviously been doing a good job systematically with federation that, you know, is giving so many players, both men and women. And, you know, of course, ideally for them it would be an Italian winner and different result today. But I think what I said on the court, I really mean it. It was amazing to experience this much attention and support and popularity like we had in the last 10 days, all of us players. It was really amazing. I played here already 2 years, but this year was something different. I think it's credit to Jannik as well, of course, being Italian and being one of the favorites to win the title, and the anticipation, and I think the excitement of the whole nation to support him and to back him was something that produced this incredible energy that I really enjoyed.